Greetings YouTube, Skill Incarnate bringing you all the latest indie gaming goodness. Welcome back to another look at an early access game. This time we're having a look at a title called The Children of Morta for the PlayStation 4. The Children of Morta is an isometric, story-driven RPG that is set in a fantasy universe that is a homage to classic action RPGs like Diablo, that allows players to cooperatively explore an ancient mountain corrupted by evil. Children of Morta is the brainchild of 11-bit studios, the creators of classic titles like Frostpunk and This War of Mine. So my expectations were high, but this game did not disappoint. The story of Children of Morta follows the Bergsons, a family of heroes who are the guardians of Mount Morta, which is home to a shrine devoted to the gods. The Bergsons' ancestors previously battled against an all-powerful evil force called the Corruption. Their peaceful life is shattered as corruption returns to Morta stronger than ever, spreading over the land and twisting its inhabitants into horrifying monsters. The Bergsons must travel to the top of Mount Morta, destroying the corruption, gathering divine relics to unlock powerful magic, and finding a way to permanently remove the corruption from their land. The journey to the top of Mount Morta will show us more about the members of the Bergson family, their strengths and weaknesses, and their relationship with each other, along with the origin of the corruption. The gameplay in Children of Morta is classic hack-and-slash dungeon crawling. Players will explore a variety of locations, destroying corrupted monsters and searching for divine relics, powerful artifacts that can be used to banish the corruption. The game also introduces roguelike elements. Players can collect resources such as runes, which grant powerful spells, and gold to upgrade their weapons and armor. However, these items will be lost upon death, thus encouraging careful exploration. The dungeons are also procedurally generated, with the player never knowing what enemies and hazards they will find. Multiple explorations of the dungeons are necessary, as the players will need to gather the materials for better skills and equipment. The dungeons become increasingly dangerous the closer you get to the top of Mount Morta. Like all good RPGs, there is also a skill tree for each family member, allowing players to assign skills and abilities, with character levels being shared for the family members. A fantastic addition to the game is local cooperative, allowing players to simultaneously control two of the Bergsons. The dungeons are significantly easier with an additional player, and I definitely recommend experiencing the game this way. The Bergson family and their relationship with each other is a central theme in the Children of Morta. As the guardians of Mount Morta, the Bergsons are a family of warriors. They are guided by Margaret, their grandmother, who is a seer that speaks with the ancient gods. The family has lived a rather peaceful life until the return of the corruption. The concept of family is also woven into the gameplay, as players forego selecting character classes. Instead, you choose from the members of the Bergson family, each with their own unique weapons, abilities, and approach to battling the corruption. Initially, only John, the patriarch of the family, and an experienced swordsman, and his eldest daughter Linda, an archer, are playable. However, as you progress through the campaign, you will also be able to use the other Bergson family members, along with their unique weapons and talents. In between your adventures, when returning to the stronghold, you can interact with the rest of the family, uncovering more information about the corruption, along with small details of the family's life. Simple things like sharing a meal together or discussing your next adventure is a brilliant touch, and I wish these little moments were shown more commonly throughout the game. The graphics are incredibly detailed. The artwork shows both the natural beauty of Mount Morta, from the intricate design of the Bergson home, to the dungeons with underground lakes, shrines and temples. The same cannot be said for the enemies in the game, along with the design of the Bergsons themselves. The roster of enemies is rather limited in the early part of the game, with the standard bats and skeletons, and enemies have a disappointing range of animations as well. I wish a little bit more time and care was invested here, along with the appearance of the main characters as well. Normally this is something I could overlook, but their simplistic design does not match the high quality of the environment that is a backdrop, and this makes it stand out even more. The soundtrack, however, is well executed, with a variety of tunes to accompany your adventures, along with the voice of the narrator conveying the Bergson journey as a welcome addition. While Children of Morta's campaign is enjoyable, there were some other areas that I felt were a missed opportunity. The main frustration was the balance issues with the family members. John is the first of the family you control, and is your typical sword and shield wielding warrior. He has a good mix of offense and defense, however, given the scarcity of healing items, along with relics allowing you to restore health, he is at a massive disadvantage. I often found myself using Linda, who is simply able to pepper enemies with arrows from a distance. Then I unlocked Kevin. Kevin is an assassin class that uses dual daggers. Pretty standard until you realise the more hits he successfully lands, the faster his attack speed gets. If you combine this with some of his special abilities, you have a character class that quickly becomes a juggernaut and can break the balance of the game. Thankfully, the game counters this to a degree by forcing your family members to rest and recover their strength in between dungeon runs, and you have to swap out your family members often. The procedural generation is a fantastic addition to the game, but I believe this could have benefited from a more diverse range of dungeons, because a few times I found myself with a sense of deja vu. I was simply working through the same caves with just a few changed passages, but the tight controls, focus on story, and the characters, along with a heavy dose of nostalgia, meant that I could look past these shortcomings. So do I recommend the Children of Morta? This game is a fantastic roguelike RPG with a message of family. Something that's rarely shown in modern games, which I believe is a shame. This message is also cleverly worked into the gameplay by giving the player a diverse cast of characters to play. The family members' relationship, along with the story, is the greatest strength of this game, and carries it past the various balance issues and repetitive grinding that is necessary in the later part of the game. If you're a fan of action RPGs, or if you've finished the Diablo games like me, there simply hasn't been a title that has carried on this tradition. I know, I've been looking, until I played Children of Morta. This game was able to ignite the nostalgia I felt playing the Diablo games as a child along with my friends. If you're looking for a challenging RPG, or if you're simply looking for an adventure you can play with your friends, and you can look past some rough edges, the Children of Morta is a natural choice. Fans of 11-bit Studios' other titles would also enjoy this, because it's another solid title in my opinion. That was it from me. As always, I hope you enjoyed watching this review, and I would love to hear from anyone who has also played the Children of Morta. I look forward to joining you next time when I look at another indie game. Until next time, Skill Incarnate out.